Billionaires across the globe continue to hatch out their escape plans and have bunkers already set up and ready to go. And the number of bunkers being built in bug out locations is actually increasing by a lot, and it's pretty alarming. Hey everybody, JJ here, Bull Boom, Very Bust. Let's get into this article right here. The Aperion.co, the world's billionaires are going absolutely bunkers. They're building them like there's no tomorrow. Now, probably 2 years ago, we began reporting on this, but it's getting more extreme now. More billionaires are getting more elaborate underground bunkers. There are several companies around the world that build bunkers for the super rich. And according to their data, demand has shot up anywhere from 300 to 700% over the past few years. And they attribute the spike to climate change and social unrest. Now, if we're in the beginning of this amazing economic recovery, why are billionaires and the mega rich upping their positions in these overseas bunkers, especially New Zealand? Well, that doesn't make any sense. The news told me that the economy was going to recover, that everything was going to go back to normal, that everything is going to be fine, and we're going to see just amazing economic growth. So why would the super rich be planning to bug out and hatching out escape plans? It doesn't make any sense. What's going on? Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, has said more than half of the billionaires he knows own post-apocalyptic hideouts in places like New Zealand. More than half of the billionaires he knows. Right, and from this article, quote, the world's elite might claim to see a bright future for humanity. In reality, they're hedging their bets, unquote. So you see a lot of these CEOs, they're being interviewed on the financial channels, and they always have a pretty rosy outlook, right? All right, the same thing with the people from the Fed. They're going to come out there and say, yes, we're recovering. They don't want to sound off any alarms, because if they did, that would basically be a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you have a CEO that goes on television, or the head of the Fed, let's say Chairman Powell, and they say run for the hills, this economy is completely destroyed, well, that would destroy the economy even more, even faster. So of course they're not going to do that. So on one hand, they're going to tell you everything's fine, nothing to worry about, we're in a recovery. But what's the old phrase? What's the old saying? Don't listen to what they say, look at what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're preparing for devastation in these bug out locations, these bunkers. The difference between us and the super rich is that they have the escape plan. They're not even trying to keep it a secret. Some of them even brag about it, and they're showing off their bunkers. All right, so they are preparing. They are preppers. Now, when we think of preppers, we think of somebody maybe out in the woods dressed in camo that has maybe a shack built up, or a little bomb shelter built into the ground somewhere with shelves and a bunch of canned goods. Well, the real preppers are the mega rich, the billionaires, and they have underground mansions. And they come with all kinds of amenities, including swimming pools, movie theaters, gardens, artificial sunlight, solar power, water filtration systems. They will be able to live, many of these bunkers will be designed to live in for several years if they have to. And here's the really crazy part. Millionaires and billionaires have already siphoned up so much real estate in New Zealand that the country had to pass a law barring foreigners from buying more property there. And we go back to this news article from 2018. So as early as almost 3 years ago, foreigners were buying up so much property that they had to ban foreigners from buying more property in New Zealand. The world's richest, most powerful people most certainly are planning for the end of the world as we know it, even as they bring it about. So what do we think about this, everybody? A 300 to 700 increase in billionaires buying getaway locations and bunkers just in the past few years. All right. I think that these billionaires, they know what is bubbling under the surface. They know that this economy is completely a papered over false economy, that they're just holding off the disaster with all of the stimulus checks. But once we get into hyperinflation, and once we see more shortages, especially food shortages, then you're going to start to see the real disaster unfold, and it's going to become more obvious, I think, as the months go by here in 2021. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to start seeing disaster unfold in 2021, more civil unrest? What if more states follow Texas? Texas now says you cannot prevent landlords from kicking tenants out, from evicting tenants that are not paying. If that happens nationwide or is implemented in more states, you could see a lot more pain out there in the real world and a lot more crime. When people become homeless, we're going to start seeing a lot more dangerous situations arise. And we're talking over 10 million new homeless people if that were to be implemented nationwide. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the writing's on the wall, and I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of what's happening. More people are preparing and getting ready for this. Even if you're not a billionaire buying a bug out location in New Zealand, if you're just going to stick here in the US, stick around and down with the ship, maybe not, but I'm at least going to be looking for a more rural location. So when the time is right, if there ever is another buying opportunity in real estate, which hopefully won't be at bubble prices that we're seeing today, if there ever is a correction, if there's ever a glitch or something happens where the Fed can no longer or will no longer prop up the markets, if there is a real estate price correction or decline, that's when I'm looking to make my move. Until then, I'm going to be sticking it out here in Southern California. But no place is completely safe. Look at all the people that moved to Texas, and they never expected a power outage and the ice storms that we saw here in 2021. But the warning signs are everywhere. We're seeing unlimited amounts of money being thrown into the markets right now. Millions of people dependent on stimulus checks, jobs numbers that are just awful week in and week out. And it's only going to take maybe just one or two small events to really tip this to the breaking point. And just wait until the top 50% have to start paying higher taxes to pay for all this spending. It's going to get absolutely nightmarish out there for more people. Hopefully you're still doing well at this time. And let's continue to get ready for what lies ahead of us. I think going to be some very, very dark times here. And it's going to become more obvious as we go into the summer here, in my opinion. Stay tuned. Thanks everybody for watching this report. What do you think about these bunkers? Are you going to be looking to buy a bug out location? The billionaires are the new preppers. Why are they really ramping up their purchases of these bunkers, especially over in New Zealand? What do they see? Please let me know down in comments. Love to read your comments. For now, thanks everybody. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.